I am here with Congressman Jamie Raskin, the great Congressman Jamie Raskin, who's going to be speaking tonight. Congressman, I'll ask you the same question. Like, what are you looking for tonight? Is this going to be a night when you're expecting more tears, more joy, more what?
It's going to be about the remarkable journey that Joe Biden has been on over the course of his career through all of the great movements of our times, the civil rights movement and the women's movement and the environmental movement. But it's going to be about the future and what it really means to pass the baton. I mean, he has made a decision that is so rare in American politics that it astonished people, and some people, like Donald Trump, still can't even comprehend it. He can't synthesize.
He thinks he's going to swoop in somehow and try to take it back, take his nomination back.
Yeah, he cannot compute that. But Joe Biden can talk to us better than anybody in the country about Kamala Harris as his vice president, as his partner in the executive branch, also as somebody he knows from the Senate as well, and her extraordinary service as senator from our largest state, why she is poised to lead the values of democracy and freedom and progress for everybody in the new century.
Yeah.
And that's going to be an extraordinary thing to hear him talk about her as well as talk about him. I mean, I think the emotional expectation is rising in this room as to what we're going to hear from Joe Biden. And there are those of us who are just run-up speakers to President Biden, and we can't wait to hear what he's got to say.
You know, one of our favorite things about you, we love everything about you, Congressman. We love talking to you as a constitutional scholar. You know, I use this opportunity to take your class every time that you're with me. But, you know, the role of the vice president is one of the most ambiguous, I think, to a lot of people, right? If they haven't, read through the Constitution, people don't know what vice presidents do. One of the things that's been so fascinating about watching the relationship between President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, similar to when President Biden was vice president, is you actually kind of got to see what the vice president's relationship was and her importance. I mean, his reliance on her, she was, in the end, the most hardcore with him. To the bitter end. She was he's in this. She was his fiercest defender after that debate, the debacle debate. And he handed it off to her and then has started to lay out, here's what she's been doing with me. Here's what our policies have been. And this is why she's set up for success. What do you make of the way that President Biden has in some ways taught us what the vice president's job is by describing her?
I mean, constitutionally, of course, the major job of the vice president is to preside over the Senate and to vote only when there's a tie. There have been a lot of ties, so she's actually played an important role. I think she has cast a significant percentage of all of the tie votes cast by vice presidents in American history. So she's done a great job on that. And then basically to serve the president. They used to say, check on the president's health. But, they have this wonderful relationship. There's no daylight between them. And so there's no hard feelings. Again, the Republicans don't understand that. They don't understand what it means to be a real political party, which listens to people, where people come together, can disagree. But the unity, the focus, the momentum at this convention is absolutely extraordinary. How everybody is together on this one goal. Now, they operate like a dictatorship over on their side. It's an autocracy. But they still can't get over the fact that we have seen a passing of the baton to a new generation of political leaders. And Biden thereby teaches America and those of us who are in public life that a really important ingredient to leadership is creating space for new leadership and bringing people in and nurturing them and coaching them and then supporting them.
Yeah, and if the Harris Walz ticket wins, I don't know when the last time we've had a vice president who came from the House rather than the Senate. So I know y'all House folks are excited about the idea of having somebody that comes from your body.
It's a very big deal for us. And it is well balanced in terms of Senate and House representation, as well as geographically and in terms of life experiences. It's a ticket that really speaks to America in a profound way.
You House folks are spiking the ball just a little bit. I think the reps are spiking the ball just a little bit.